The ant, you can't hear its sound, it's praising Allah. The fish in the ocean is praising Allah. That nightingale in song, even the braying of the donkey, the sound the cow makes, the barking of the dog, every creation of Allah. How many creations can you count? Look at the insect population of the world. What they just estimate how many insects Allah has created. They say if you take the whole human population, put it on one hand of the scale, the insects Allah created. The insects Allah created will weigh 70 times more than the human population. So how many creations? Take the ants for example. Very often I like to give the example of ants. Why? Because we tend to pride ourselves. We think our intellect is very advanced. 100 million ants, if you take their nervous system, their brain of 100 million ants, it will weigh 20 grams. Yet, and this is a makhluk, this is a creation that is partially blind. Ants are partially blind. Yet if you look at ants and you see the way they walk, you'll see a group of ants that will be walking in a straight line. This defies logic. A makhluk that can't see, that is partially blind, should not be able to walk in a straight line. Bichara Imam Sahib in this masjid, how many times there are this thing? You are, mashallah, Ashraful Makhluqat. You have a very advanced nervous system. You have a very advanced brain. Some of us think we're the Allama of the time. Why? Because we're degrees from Harvard University, Oxford University, think there's nobody like us. I don't want PhD, so I know everything. That same insan, despite the demarcation, how many times around by make the substrate, make the substrate, make the substrate, stand in a straight line, still alive with it. And yet this tiny creation of Allah, what is it, the size of its brain? In Africa, you'll see ant colonies, they build homes. Cognizance is taken of the direction the sun rises from, the sun sets. Cognizance is taken of the direction the wind is blowing. Ventilation system, sewage disposal system, such complexity Allah has kept in such a tiny creation. What is this? كُلٌّ رَبُّنَا الَّذِي أَعْطَى كُلَّ شَيْءٍ خَلْقَهُ ثُمَّ هَدَى. Allah is Rabb, and Allah has created every creation and given every creation the necessary knowledge for it to carry out its function and task. I don't want to go into a biology lesson, but just a simple example. A lot of times I can relate it to announcements we keep hearing. All of us did find a picture of a mobile phone and one line ringing. What's the line by? Don't let it disturb me. Switch it off. In England, you'll understand this example that are being now more easier than maybe South Africa. South Africa, despite us being a third world country, mashallah, our homes are quite big. It's got a lot of space. England is very, very tight. There are a lot of cluster homes. Sometimes the neighbor's doorbell is ringing, and this man is opening his door. Somebody else's cell phone is ringing, you put your hand in your pocket. Why there isn't a distinctive sound to demarcate this phone from that phone, or that doorbell from this doorbell? How many ants are that created? They estimate there are 20 quadrillion ants. 20 quadrillion. Unfortunately, a lot of times we find scientists and those people who regard themselves to be very intelligent, they like to confuse us with very bombastic terms. Sometimes we hear the doctors with the topic, they speak English but sound like another language. And they get very happy with it. In fact, I think they train them in medical school to write in such a way you can't read. I'm not really against the doctors, this is just an example. In fact, one Jamaat Safi, doctor, mashallah, very active, he's 4 months in the year. One day he told me, he said, Moulana, you know what, we got the best profession. So I said, why are you saying that? So he said, Allah gives the shifa and we charge the government. So like I said, I got nothing against doctors. This is just by way of example. Bombastic terms are generally used. There's one very good friend of mine, hopefully I won't take too much of your time. In any case, he passed away now. Allah made his maghfirah. He says, when I was a little boy, one day in school, my school teacher told me to write a composition. So what I did is I found the stories. And I looked for all the biggest words. Similarly to the biggest words possible. And I filled my whole composition with all this bombastic terminology. And then I presented it to my teacher. So my teacher looked at it and said, "You're promulgating your esoteric cognition, or shall I say psychological observation. I find that you excel in the usage of empty tintinabulations, and this behoves me to bash you on your proboscis." He says, from that day, I made yoga. Lot of times we hear this, what a talk. Fantastic, academic. But what did you understand? Absolutely nothing. That is not intelligence. Confusing your audience is not intelligence. Bringing yourself down to the level of your audience. This was the beautiful gift that Allah gave the greatest, the most intelligent human being, Muhammad Rasulullah. That itself is another topic, I'm not going into it now. But how many occasions, Bedouins, Arab, desert dwellers, people that have never seen a school or university, no academic education, they would come with complex questions to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, yet the answer he would give, he would bring himself right down to the level of that person. That everyone could understand, everyone could relate to what Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was saying. Nevertheless, I digress. They say, how many ants? 20 quadrillion ants. Like I said, fancy term. You want to break it down? Take the number 20 and 15 zeros in front of it. That is what they estimate is the number of ants that Allah has created. Yet, look at the peculiarity. Look at the distinction in the creation of Allah. For example, if there is one ant colony in which there are 1 million ants, certain ants, the moment the egg hatches, Allah created them in such a way that the head is larger than the rest of the body. Nobody brings a mirror to that ant and says, listen, your head is larger than your body, so you are in security. Instinctively, instinctively that ant knows that now I am in security. What's its job? When the ants go out for foraging, for example, from this one colony, if there are 1 million ants, they went out for the day. End of the day, like we see in this masjid, mashallah, we made a card, we will press that, number, unique system we saw here, you can see it elsewhere. Allah gives that, maybe there is some good in it. But in any case, you have to press the security before you can enter. If the code doesn't match, you can't enter. What is the size of the brain of the ant? There are 2 strands of hair that are sticking out of the head of each ant. Those 2 strands of hair are vibrating at a certain frequency. If in this town there are 1 trillion ants, example, by the qasam of my Allah who created the ants, the 2 hairs on the head of no 2 ants are beating with the same frequency. Each one with a distinct frequency. And these security ants, from the time the egg is hatched, in their brain, in their nervous system is imprinted the distinctive frequency by which the 2 hairs of the 1 million ants that belong to this colony are vibrating. So the ant will come, it will rub its head against the security, it will sense the frequency by which the 2 hairs are vibrating. If it matches, these ants move apart and they can enter. If it doesn't match, they are rejected. رَبُّنَا الَّذِي أَعْطَى كُلَّ شَيْءٍ خَلْقَهُ ثُمَّ هَدَى. And what is Quran telling us? Ants, insects, spiders, birds, lion, cheetah, animal world, carnivores, pedivores, insan, jinnat, rivers, streams, ma fi samawat, wa ma fi al-ard, ma fi samawat, wal ard. Everything in the heavens and everything in the earth is making the tasbih of Allah, glorifying Allah, praising Allah. Allah is not in need of you and I. Every bird, not just animal, every inanimate. Ma, this word ma, not man. Ma fi samawat. every droplet of rainwater, every dewdrop, every blade of grass, every pebble, every stone, every grain of sand, tasbih, taqdees of Allah. Allah's greatness, Allah's jalal, Allah's azmat. This is why, Ya ibadi, innakum lan tablughu durri fatadurruni, wa lan tablughu naf'i fatanfa'uni. Ya ibadi, law anna awwalakum wa akhirakum wa insakum wa jinnakum wa hayyakum wa mayyitakum wa raddakum wa yabisakum kanu ala atqa qalbi rajulin wahidin minkum ma zada dhalika fi mulki shay'a. Wa ya ibadi, law anna awwalakum wa akhirakum wa insakum wa jinnakum wa hayyakum wa mayyitakum wa raddakum wa yabisakum wa dhakarakum wa unsakum kanu ala afjari qalbi rajulin wahidin minkum ma naqasa dhalika min mulki shay'a. Oh my slave, all of you become like shaitan. Your combined disobedience will not diminish from my greatness on one iota. All of you become like the most pious amongst you. Your combined obedience and ibadah will not increase my greatness one iota. Lan tablughu durri fatadurruni. You can never harm me, you can never benefit me. Antum al-fuqara'u ila Allah. Antum al-fuqara'u ila Allah. Every one of you is faqir. Every one of you is zero. Every one of you is bankrupt. Every one of you is useless. Every one of you is meaningless. Ila Allah, before Allah. Wallahu huwa al-ghaniyyul hamid. Independent of this entire creation, worthy of being praised is only one Allah. Huwa al-awwal, wal-akhir, wal-zahir, wal-batin. He is the first, He is the last, He is the parent, He is conceived. Our noble Master sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in the manner of his dua, explains to us these expressions. He raises his hand. Allahumma anta al-awwal falaysa qablaka shay, wa anta al-akhir falaysa ba'daka shay, wa anta al-zahir falaysa fawqaka shay, wa anta al-batin falaysa dunaka shay. Oh my Allah, you are the first, before you there is nothing. In other words, awwal bila binaya. Allah is the first without a beginning. Anta al-akhir laysa ba'daka shay. You are the last, after you there is nothing. Akhir bila nihaya. Allah is the last without an ending. Past tense, present tense, future tense. This is for you and I. 100 years ago, now, 100 years from now, this is for you and I. Acquiring knowledge from the sequence of events. Somebody saw something, it happened, they came to know about it. This is for you and I. Allah's knowledge is above time. يَعْلَمُ مَا بَيْنَ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمَا خَلْفَهُم. Future we talk about because we are restricted by time. For Allah there is no past and future. Past and future is Allah's creation. Appreciate the greatness of Allah. Allah is Khaliq. There is no restrictions on Allah. There is no limitations to Allah. We are caught up. We are caught up. We are restricted. We are confined. Each one of us, coming back to what I was mentioning earlier, we are in denial about it. But from the moment you are born, there is a set and apportioned time. Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiyallahu ta'ala anhu describes it like this. He says, أَفَلَا تَرَوْنَ إِلَى اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ يُبْلِيَانِ كُلَّ جَدِيدٍ وَيُقَرِّبَانِ كُلَّ بَعِيدٍ وَيَأْتِيَانِ بِكُلِّ مَوْعُودٍ. Will you not observe? Will you not take heed? Are you blind? Allah forgive us. Not referring to you specifically. These are questions that have been put to us. Come out of your blindness. Come out of the shackles. Come out of the shackles of the life of fulfilling your desires. Come out of this dushmani with Allah. Come out of this. What does this mean? Come out of this running from the Quran. Submit to the Quran. We had it earlier. One of the Imams made the dua at the time of iftar. Submit to Allah. Let our progeny submit to Allah. La ilaha illallah. What is that? My sight has come to an end. My hearing has come to an end. My thinking has come to an end. My logic has come to an end. I have handed myself over to Allah and His Rasul. Mas'ud says, observe. Will you not observe? إِلَى اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ, this constant movement of day and night. Day following night, night following day. That which Quran encapsulates in the expression يُكَوِّرُ اللَّيْلَ عَلَى النَّهَارِ يُغْشِي اللَّيْلَ النَّهَارِ يُولِجُ اللَّيْلَ فِي النَّهَارِ يُولِجُ النَّهَارَ فِي اللَّيْلِ. We heard it in tonight's Tarawih. إِنَّ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَاخْتِلَافِ اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ لَآيَاتٍ لَآيَاتٍ لَآيَاتٍ. This day following night, night following day, day being lengthened in summer, night being lengthened in winter. This wrapping up of day by night, night by day. أَفَلَا تَرَوْنَ, will you not observe this? What is happening? يُبْلِيَانِ كُلَّ جَدِيدٍ, every new thing is being made whole. يُقَرِّبَانِ كُلَّ بَعِيدٍ, every distant thing. It seems only yesterday. It seems only yesterday the child was born. Father and mother were visiting in their mind's eye the day my son would graduate, the day my daughter would get married, the day I'd hand over the keys to my business to the next generation. And then the verifying of this dunya, the disloyalty of this world, that there is a sequence. Khabardar, there is a sequence. Sequence in arrival. Grandfather will come first, then the father, then the grandchild. My respected brothers and sisters, by the qasam of my Allah, we are constantly reminded that when it comes to departure, there is no such sequence. Doesn't mean that if our grandfather came first, he is going to leave first. Not only the old are dying, the young are also dying. Not only the sick are dying, the healthy are dying. Not only the retired are dying, the wealthy are dying. What is the announcement in the Masjid after Nabi Salah? Somebody made an announcement after Maghrib will be Janazah. Somebody heard the announcement, he came for the Janazah. Maghrib time finds there's two Janazah. He said there was an announcement that there's one Janazah, let's say by the person who made the announcement is going to the second one. How often do we not see this example? Two people attended one Janazah, one brother is telling the next brother, let's go to the Qabristan. Rasulullah said, Janazah Salah Qira, Mithlu Jabal Uhud, in gold. Allah will give you reward for attending Janazah Salah. Go to the Qabristan, another Qira. So let us get that fazila, let us get that virtue. The point is what is it? Itne mushkil se mere janazah mein hazir hua. You know how difficult it was for me to come for this janazah. You tell me go Qabristan, I'm in a hurry. Rushes off, it's an accident. And that same graveyard, which he didn't have the time to visit on behalf of someone else, has become his resting place like that. The reality, the verify of this dunya, marna hai bhai, have to die. That is why our Master sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and this is the cry and the lament of our elders. This third point of tabligh, ilm and zikr, ilm and zikr, ilm and zikr. Allah forgive us today, has become a very, very mazloom. We just walk past. So you can see that Khatani taking place in our masjid. Just take a cool walk, like a lazy girl. Just take a walk. As if nothing is happening. What is this? The value of the gem that we can read and learn from our Master sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Our ulama, how many times did Allah write dars is taking place? This is the dars, acquire knowledge of me. This mindset has overtaken us, that learning deen is the domain of little children. Once I reach adulthood, mashallah, I got a diploma, I don't have to learn deen anymore. Illa mashallah. General sense of apathy. Yet, in the time of Sahaba, if this announcement had to be made, who is Talibul Ilm? Who are those who are learning deen? Who is Talibul Ilm? The first thing that will enter the mind today, Talibul Ilm, those small children. لأن تغدو فتعلم آية من كتاب الله خير لك من أن تصلي 100 ركعة. أو كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. What did he say? God called Sulaiman. He said, "Oh Muzab, when you leave your house in the morning and you acquire the knowledge of one verse of the Quran, learn, ta'allam ayatun min kitabillah." He said this is better for you than reading 100 rakats of Nafil Salah. One ayat to learn is better than 100 rakats of Nafil Salah. You may be, mashallah, very muttaqi. I know my weakness. I don't believe in the year 100 rakats. Yeah? Man qada ila al-masjid, man qada ila al-masjid, la yurid illa an yata'allama khayran aw yu'allima. Allah Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that person who leaves his house will go to the masjid, normally for salah, but now there's an additional intention. What is it? يَتَعَلَّمَ خَيْرًا أَوْ يُعَلِّمًا. يَتَعَلَّمَ خَيْرًا أَوْ يُعَلِّمًا. To sit in the halqa of ta'aleem, if you want to translate it in our current terms. Learn and teach deen. Let's come to the masjid to learn and teach deen. Get this out of our mind. Tabligh Jamaat. There's no such thing as Tabligh Jamaat. There's no organization. This is not some movement. No political agenda. This is what we heard earlier. One of your imams made that dua. Ya Allah, take us back to the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Abu Hurairah went into the marketplace and he said that miras of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is being distributed in the masjid. Today the Sahaba also, when they had the term miras, they thought financial. So when they came to the masjid, what did they say? You know, it's a famous hadith. They got upset with Abu Hurairah. What did he say? That we love Muhammad. You love Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We want that Ruhani link with our master. This is his milah. These jewels of knowledge that we have behind. Learn these, you don't wake up driving automatically or swimming automatically or qualified automatically. You understand in dunya you have to learn. Deen also has to be learned. Deen seeking is out there. Value the need to acquire the knowledge of deen. As in Moulana Hassan Sahib Rahmatullah alayhi, when he spoke to Mas'ud, the entire Mas'urat that is taking place in the whole world. You find out Mas'urat Jamaats coming out 3 days, 15 days, foreign countries also. Weekly Mas'urat figure, they asked him, that Hazrat, iska maqsad kya hai? What's the object of all this? How beautifully he put it. He said one expression, Garo ki Taleem, Garo ki Taleem, Garo ki Taleem, to establish the halakat of Taleem in every home. Formal madrasa and maktab system came later. It was a necessity. Allah gave the ulama ikram of that time their life day. But in Qarni Ula, in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, by the qasam of my Allah, every home of Medina was a madrasa. Every home of Medina was a maktab. Sahaba, they took their mind down in the masjid, they took it home. That is why there was that environment. Sahabi is leaving his house, he's not going for jihad, he's going to the marketplace. The wife will call out from behind, إِيَّاكَ وَكَسْبِ الْحَرَامِ فَإِنَّا نَصْبِرُ عَلَى الْجُوعِ وَلَا نَصْبِرُ عَلَى نَارِ جَهَنَّمَ. She would say, beware of bringing haram into my home. Wife is telling her husband, beware of bringing haram into my home. I can make sabr on hunger. I will never be able to make sabr on the. That was that time. Nowadays, like our brother puts it nicely, buying things we don't need, with money we don't have, to impress people we don't like. Relentless rat race, weddings, functions, endless amounts of money, wasted, israf, on an unimaginable scale. Why? We want to keep up with the James and Jones of society. That was that period, this period, يَأْتِي عَلَى النَّاسِ زَمَانٌ يَكُونُ هَلَاكُ الرَّجُلِ عَلَى يَدِهِ أَبُوَيْهِ وَزَوْجَتِهِ وَوَلَدِهِ. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Mahmoud Hadith, he said, a time will come upon my ummah that the destruction of a person will take place in the hands of his parents, wife and children. What will happen? يُعَيِّرُونَهُ بِالْفَقْرِ. They will taunt him with his poverty. They will taunt him with his lack of worldly means. وَيُكَلِّفُونَهُ مَا لَا يُطِيقُ. Because of the taunts that he is facing, he will take on financial burden that he cannot bear. Unnecessary debt, lies, treachery, riba. لا تأكلوا الربا أضعافا مضاعفة واتقوا الله. We are ready tonight, Tarawih. This culture of riba, fear Allah, fear Allah. فَأَذَنُوا بِحَقٍّ مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. In zina, Allah doesn't say this, but in riba, Allah says you are doing more than Allah and His Rasul. Today, what do we say? You have to keep up. You have to be financially on top of the competition. This is that inequality that has crept in. Why the environment of Iman is not there. Such are the pressure. Like one person puts it, example, he says, today the Musulat are very worried. Very worried. What is the worry? There's no space in the cupboard. Next morning, I have to buy something new to put in the cupboard, which already got no space. And then the next morning, after I bought it, I saw someone else wearing the same thing. So now I need to change that. What is this? You find this entire fashion industry is what? They just change one color, that's the new fashion. There was a butterfly that put one petal, that's suddenly a new fashion. What is behind this is what? That's race behind the dunya. Allahu Akbar. That personality. What does Allah tell us in the Quran? Ya nisa an-nabi lastunna ka'ahadin min an-nisa. O wives of the Prophet, O wives of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, there are no women like you. Our mother Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, what was her maqam? What was her status? Allahu Akbar, such intelligence. Sahaba said one third of the deep complexities that they could not solve after the demise of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they acquired the knowledge from Aisha. Most prolific narrator of hadith was Abu Hurairah, 5,374 hadith. After him, highest number of hadith, more than 2,200 hadith, the narrator was Umm al-Mu'minin Aisha radiallahu anha. Man ahabbu an-nas ilayhi, who do you love the most? He said Aisha. Mata bayna nahri wa sahri, she says Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam passed away leaning on my chest. That maqam. Allahu Akbar. Abdurrahman bin Abi Bakr, her brother, enters the room of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in that weakened state, looks with longing at what? At the miswak of Abdurrahman bin Abi Bakr. Ulama have mentioned, just now we did salah, we made wudu before that. Ulama have mentioned that wudu which is made with miswak, the nuraniyat of that salah is accentuated 490 times. Allah's Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, لَوْلَا أَنْ أَشُقَّ عَلَىٰ أُمَّتِي, if I did not fear it to become too difficult to my ummah, لَأَمَرْتُهُمْ بِالسِّوَاكِ مَعَ كُلِّ صَلَاةٍ, I would have made it first for them to make miswak before every salah. That kind of love, Allah's Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam had for this one sunnah. What is our attachment? What is our attachment? Today, mashallah, we find those. That sigh will come out of the heart if they did not make miswak. But we are living in a time or period, what modern time, keeping up with the James and Jones, in so-called intelligentsia, and behind all this modernism, and behind all this drive to impress others, is Allah forgive us, is the destruction of ourselves. Now Ghazali Rahimahullah used to say, when your lives move away from Sunnah, this is shirk al-khafi, it's the lighter form of shirk. This is the lighter form of shirk when you will abandon the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That personality, Allahu Akbar, inni la'arifu rajulan bismihi wasmi abihi wa ummihi la ya'ti babun min abwabil jannah illa qala marhaba, marhaba, Allahu Akbar. Look at this. He said, I know the name of someone. This month of Ramadan, fasting. There is one dog, Jannah, its name is Rayyan. This is the daqiq point. Daqiq point that ulama have mentioned. They say, some amal, jaza'uhu min jinsil amal. Allah rewards you from the category of that action. For example, one door of Jannah, according to Riwayah, is called Babus Salam. One door is called Babus Salam. If we have to apply that logic, then the door of Jannah that Allah has reserved for those who will fulfill the haqq of fasting, that door should have been called Babu Soul, should have been like Babu Salah, etc. That door should have been called Babu Soul. Yet, Rasulullah said, Allah hasn't kept the name Babu Soul. That door is called Babul Rayyan. What is Rayyan? Layman's term, when you very, very thirsty. This analogy you probably appreciate in your surroundings. Nowadays the fasting is like an early breakfast and a late lunch. But that is in its place. But recently, in the recent distant memory, there will be those times when you got very, very thirsty. How that water is drunk at the time of iftar. What? And then that satisfaction, that is rain. In Arabic, that is rain. That satisfaction that you get, that coolness that envelops you. When you are very, very thirsty and your thirst has been quenched with cool water. That feeling you have after that in Arabic, when you ask the ulama, is rain in Arabic. So, Rayyan, you got thirsty and hungry in the world for Allah's sake. Now enter through my door of Jannah, where your thirst and hunger will be quenched forever. Such an opportunity Allah has given us. Nevertheless, there is one person. Rasulullah said, I know his name and I know the name of his parents. He will not come to any of the doors. 8 doors of Jannah. 8 doors of Jannah. He will not come to any of the doors except that door will call out. Welcome, enter to me. Welcome, enter to me. Sahaba, Abu Sulaiman, fallen to his knees. Inna hada, laburtafi'un shabuhu ya Rasulullah. This is indeed a person of great rank, O Nabi of Allah. Who is this? He said, Huwa Abu Bakr ibn Abi Quhafa. It is Abu Bakr ibn Allah. What did he say? I mentioned this muqaddamah just to put us into context. Context today, because unfortunately, a lot of us like to ask questions nowadays. Sometimes there are motives, sometimes there are agendas behind the question. In fact, question, we are encouraged in the Mashifa'ul Su'al. The cure to ignorance is to ask. But ask correctly, ask with adab, ask with etiquette. Another time, question. Hazrat, Moulana, tell me, is this sunnah? Is this sunnah? Why are you asking? What's the motivation? Like I said, questions, sometimes nowadays the problem is you have to see why the man is asking the question. Like it's mentioned about Imam Abu Hanifa, very famous student, Imam Muhammad. There was one student in his class, 6 months past, he never asked a single question. One day, Imam Muhammad got upset with him. He said, why 6 months you never asked a single question? Nothing piques your curiosity. He said, okay, I'll just raise one question. What's your question? He said, you told us that if the sun sets, we must pray Maghrib Salah. What happens if the sun doesn't set? Imam Muhammad said, Sukutuka khayrun. For you to keep quiet or better than you speak. Because before this, how little you knew, I had no idea. Now it became a fact. So that question also. Today the person asked a question, why, Hazrat, tell me, is this sunnah? Why did he ask me? Sahaba, Abdullah bin Mas'ud is entering the masjid. Rasulullah says, oh God, sir. He's not addressing him. But he heard the words from the lips of the Master, oh God. No question to ask. No logic enters into the equation. Muhammad has said it. Sunnat wajib first that came afterwards. Muhammad has said it on the spot. He sits on the ground. They had ashikana muhabbat. Their love, their following legislation was ashikana, was based on love and devotion. Today, we have become what? Dictated by logic, dictated by our nafs and desires. This is why the janazah of sunnah have taken place. Is it sunnah? Why are we asking? Because if the answer is it's not farz and wajib, it's sunnah, it's okay to leave it out. I don't like going to ikhtilaf, Allah knows best. But this Tarawih Salah is a classical example. That means the amal of the Ummah is going for so many centuries. Like I said, no one has down going any tricky ikhtilaf that I need to ulama command. In our country, one place they got a year discount, this announcement about the parking. One masjid I saw it in Cape Town, there were two signposts. Parking for 8 rakats Tarawih, parking for 20 rakats. One chance in a year we get to listen to Quran. One chance in a year we get for what? What is that Tarawih? Then we are running away from the now we are so busy. Busy with what? What is drawing us away? That 20 rakats is 40 sajda. 40 sajda you are making. What does Allah tell in sajda? ما يسجد لله سجدة إلا رفعه الله بها درجة. Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiallahu said, your head will never touch the ground in sajda except that Allah will elevate you. Drown yourself in seeking Allah. Nevertheless, I digress. Why is it sunnah? Why? Because if we get the answer it is sunnah, we leave it out. In other words, we have this expression has become common. It is only sunnah. It is only sunnah. My respected brothers, I'm sitting on the middle of the masjid. Call us a chair only one. I'm not going to take one person, I'm prepared to take 1,000 persons. I'm prepared to take 1,000 persons. The insult that is contained in this expression, it is only sunnah, is the worst crime than the destruction of the servant of the Where is that list? Where is that muhabbat? Where is that acknowledgement? Abu Bakr, the 8 doors of Jannah will fall out. What does he say? Ma taraktu shay'an. Ma taraktu shay'an. Kana Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam ya'maluhu. He said, there is nothing lighter in the Arabic language than the word shay. Shay is the lightest noun. He said, I never left a single thing which I saw Rasulullah do. Inni akhaf in taraktu shay'an min amrihi al-azim. Who is saying this? Who is saying this? Allahu Akbar. The consensus of the ulama of the ummah is that after Anbiya, this was the greatest personality that walked the surface of the earth. And yet he says, I fear that if I intentionally leave out one sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abu Bakr will go astray. And Azim, I will go astray. They understood the value of this deen, the one sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Nevertheless, Allah Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his gaze goes onto the miswak. of Abdurrahman bin Abi Bakr. Aisha notices he's in that weakened state. She says, I anticipated the Islam desire to make miswak. I took the miswak from my brother. It was hard. Obviously a fresh miswak would be hard. He is very weak in a weakened state. She says, I softened it in my mouth. I took it first. I softened it in my mouth. Then I placed that miswak in the mouth of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So what happened as a result of this? The last thing that entered the Mubarak lips of Rasulullah was the saliva of Aisha. That maqam, that status. So let me hadith 3 things which are not going into the detail. But one thing Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says to her, that maqam, that status, yes, Ya Aisha, oh Aisha, إِذَا أَرَدْتِ الْلُحُوظَ بِي, if you want to be with me in Akhirah. Aisha, if you want to be with me in Akhirah, then do not change your clothes for a new set until the current one has patches on. What was this? That sadhi, that simplicity, that abstention from running behind the dunya. The same Aisha Sahaba say, at times she would have 800,000 dinars. One day she would give that away in charity, and she would forget to keep a little behind for her iftar of that day. Such scenes were left behind for us. Man qada ila al-masjid la yurid illa an yata'allam. Every home of Medina was a madrasa of Iman, was a markaz of Iman, muzakara of Iman. This is the cry in the net. This is not some organization. Bring the halqa of ta'lim alive in every home of the woman. Establish halqa of ta'lim. Learn deen, teach deen, and then zikr, kullu muti'in dhakir. Implementing what you will learn. This is the highest form of zikr. Remembering Allah in every situation, every condition. Think, La yazalu lisanuka ratban bi dhikrillah. Let your tongues be wet with the zikr of Allah. Quran is zikr of Allah. Tasbih is zikr of Allah. Take out time. Take out time. The clock of life is ticking. That person who will leave his house to come to the masjid. La yurid inna lillahi yata'allama khayran wa yu'allima. For what? To sit in the halqa of ta'lim. To sit in the halqa of learn and teach deen. Learn and teach deen. Learn and teach deen. فَأَجْرُهُ مِثْلُ أَجْرِ الْحَاجِّ الْمُحْرِمِ تَامَّةً حَجَّتُهُ. Rasulullah said Allah will reward him like that Haji who tied the ihram and performed a maqbool mabrur hajj. Every day we are given that chance. No nusuk app, no accreditation, no 5-star or 4-star or 3-star package, or worry about how many allowed from which country. None of that. Every day the woman is given an opportunity. Such jewels we have been given. Coming back, Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. أَفَلَا تَرَوْنَ إِلَى اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ يُبْلِيَانِ كُلَّ جَدِيدٍ يُقَرِّبَانِ كُلَّ بَعِيدٍ وَيَأْتِيَانِ بِكُلِّ مَوْعُودٍ. Allah's Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he taught us, learn deen, visit the graveyard. And what must you say? What must you say? What did he teach us? He said, address those graves. Address those graves. Assalamu alaikum. Ya ahlal quburi minal Islam. Peace be upon you, O residents of these graves. And then part of what he taught us, Antum lana salaf wa nahnu bil athar. You have gone ahead. You have gone ahead. I am right behind you. I am right behind you. Every janaza is a wake-up call. Every janaza is a reminder. Every janaza is a reminder. يُبْلِيَانِ كُلَّ جَدِيدٍ. Every new thing is being made old. يُقَرِّبَانِ كُلَّ بَعِيدٍ. Every distant thing is being brought near. Father and mother were envisaging the day of the so-called milestones of life, but the bewafai and disloyalty of this dunya. How often we don't observe that same elderly father that was imagining long time ago, I'm going to give the keys of my churches to my son. Today that elderly father is carrying the janaza of that young son on his side. Is this not the reality? Mata'ul ghurur, mata'ul ghurur. How many times in the Quran Allah calls out, don't be deceived, don't be deceived, don't be deceived. Observe the movement of day and night. Every new thing is being made old. Every distant thing is being brought near. وَيَأْتِيَانِ بِكُلِّ مَوْعُودٍ وَيَأْتِيَانِ بِكُلِّ مَوْعُودٍ. And every promise of Allah will be made a reality. Hudayr bin Ayaz, rahimahullah, he saw a question. He asked him the question, Kam ata alayka min umrik? Oh my brother, how old are you? The man said 60 years. He said, Mundu sittina sana. Tasiru ila rabbik yushiku an tasir. He said, oh my brother, for the last 60 years, you are on a journey of life. You don't think your destination is coming here. إِنَّا لَنَفْرَحُ بِالْأَيَّامِ نَتْبَعُهَا وَكُلَّ يَوْمٍ مَضَى يُدْنِي مِنَ الْأَجَلِ فَاعْمَلْ لِنَفْسِكَ قَبْلَ الْمَوْتِ مُجْتَهِدًا فَإِنَّمَا الرِّبْحُ وَالْخُسْرَانُ فِي الْعَمَلِ نُجَدِّدْ سُرُورًا بِالْهِلَالِ إِذَا بَدَا وَمَا هِيَ إِلَّا السَّيْفُ لِلْحَتْفِ يَنْفَعُ إِذَا تَمَّ الْعَامُ فَهِيَ كِنَايَةٌ وَتَرْجُمَةٌ عَنْ شَطْرِ عُمْرٍ قَدْ انْقَضَى. Just a few more minutes of your time and we will take. Allah accept your largesse in giving us this opportunity. Just a few more minutes, but a little bit of sabr. Like the Quran puts it beautifully. This Bagal finishing time, you are celebrating the passage. New Year you celebrate, birthday you celebrate, the hallmarks by which you are reminded that the clock of life is ticking down. That time is not indispensable. Allah only is above time. Besides Allah, sabko marna hai. Wa tawakkal ala al-hayy alladhi la yamut. Place your trust. Make the qibla of this heart. Turn in the direction. Place your dependence upon that living who will never die, and that is Allah. Besides Allah, sabko marna hai. Pagal insan, you are celebrating the passage of time. Kulla yawmin mada, yudni min al-ajli. Every passing day is taking you closer to what? To that morn, to that qabr. إنما يسير أحدكم إلى موضع أربعة أذرع في الأرض. Every one of us, realizing or not realizing, our eventual abode in this world is that 4 foot by 2 foot hole in the ground. We have forgotten it. It has not forgotten. I can remember 2 years ago I was in the house. This is my father. I said, this came from a birthday party. I asked him, how old was he? He said 60 years old. 60 years of age and still celebrating. 100 high and 60 candles. And nowadays, you notice in Islam and certainly you say, I'm going outside for fresh air. But the fresh air is, we are doing things that are destroying our respiratory system. So normally, nowadays, when a 60-year-old man tries to blow out the 60 candles, will he get blown out first? But the candles get blown out first. That also is doubtful. Yet what are we doing? We are celebrating. What are we celebrating? By you boarded a bus, took a bus from here, and now you are going back to London. Beforehand you are told, listen, there are going to be 6 stops. 6 stops. And when you reach London, at the 6th stop, what is going to happen? They're going to hang you. You're going to die. Death sentence is announced. Final destination, 6th stop, clock of life is over. Death. What does the intelligent person do? The first stop is start giving some Italian sweetness. Start celebrating. This is the reality. This is the reality of this relentless rat race of this dunya. And the sad tragedy is we have equated it with intelligence. Hasan Basri rahimahullah, what did he say? Sahibtu aqwaman, sahibtu aqwaman. He said, I came into contact with a group of people who was referring to Ashab Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. كان أحدكم أشح بوقته منكم على ديناركم ودراهمكم. He says, I was in the companionship of a group of people, Ashab Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said, they valued their time. They valued their time more than you people value your gold and your diamonds. Gold, silver, diamonds, wealth is a replaceable commodity. Lose something today, you will get it back tomorrow. Time. Will you not observe? Will you not observe this movement of day and night? Every new thing is being made old. Every distant thing is being brought here. وَيَأْتِيَا لِكُلِّ مَوْعُودٍ. And every promise of Allah will be made again. What promise? وَلَكُمْ مِيعَادُ يَوْمٍ وَلَكُمْ مِيعَادُ يَوْمٍ لَا تَسْتَأْخِرُونَ عَنْهُ سَاعَةً وَلَا تَسْتَقْدِمُونَ. There is a promised time of my and your departure. Cycle of life is heading in one direction. A day is coming. In Arabic language, the day is yom. The word yom is day. How many times Allah reminds us? Yom al-Qiyamah, Yom al-Hasra, Yom al-Nadam, Yom al-Wayl, Yom al-Fawzan, Yom al-Khusran, Yom al-Taghabun, Yom al-Haqqa, Yom al-Tammatul Kubra. أنذرهم يوم يأتيهم العذاب أنذر الناس يوم يأتيهم العذاب مالك يوم الدين إن يوم الفصل كان ميقاتا إن يوم الفصل ميقاتهم أجمعين قل إن الأولين والآخرين لمجموعون إلى ميقات يوم معلوم وما أدراك ما يوم الدين ثم ما أدراك ما يوم الدين يوم لا تملك نفس لنفس شيئا والأمر يومئذ لله. Almost 1,000 times Allah is reminding you and I, don't be deceived. Jannat is coming, Jahannam is coming, Qabr is coming, Akhirat is coming. That day when you and I, يَوْمَ يَقُومُ النَّاسُ لِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ, when we will have to stand in front of Allah. La dirham lahu wa la mata'. There how big your bank balance will not count for anything. Your color or your lineage or your background will count for nothing. In that war, there is only one criteria, and that is Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. How close was your day? How close was your night? How close was your figure? How close was your cry to that of Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? Were you a living embodiment of my Nabi? Whether it's the space age, whether it's the rocket age, no matter how far mankind may advance intellectually, scientifically, they can walk on the moon or Mars. Like whiteness will never be separated from milk, and like sweetness will never be separated from honey, and like redness will never be separated from a rose. In exactly the same way, my respected brothers and sisters, the success, dignity, honor of dunya, qabr and akhirat will never ever be separated from the day and night of Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Sahaba understood his dard, his pain, his cry, his legacy for this ummah. Abdurrahman bin Abi Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, Allahu Akbar. He says, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Jibreel came and informed me. What? That he has given a gift, فَيَدْخُلُونَ مِنْ أُمَّتِي سَبْعُونَ أَلْفًا بِغَيْرِ حِسَابٍ. And Ya Rasulullah, from your ummah, 70,000 will enter Jannah without any hisab. Look at on this I'm going to terminate, but this teaches us the jazba, the seed, figure of hidayat that Allah's Rasul planted in Sahaba. Umar immediately stands up, فَهَلَّا إِسْتَزَدَّ رَبَّكَ فَهَلْ يَسْتَزِدَّ رَبَّكَ. He said, Ya Rasulullah, why didn't you ask Allah for more? Why didn't you ask Allah for more? Allahu Akbar. Rasulullah says, Umar, I asked my Allah for more. I asked my Allah for more. And what did my Rabb give me? For every one of the 70,000, my Allah said, another 70,000 will enter Jannah without it. Here it is Umar again. Ya Rasulullah, didn't you ask for more? He said, Istazadtu Umar. I asked my Allah for even more. I asked my Allah for even more than that. Why? What was this done? Allahu Akbar. He said, I will come to the door of Jannah. The door of Jannah will be open for me. I will enter Jannah. There will be a noor in front of me. I will fall in sajda before my Allah. فَيُلْحِمُنِي مَحَامِدَهُ لَمْ يَحْضُرْنِ الْآنِ. My Allah will inspire me to praise Him at that time in a manner which today also I don't know that praise. I will remain in sajda for a long time. Then the call will be made to me, Ya Muhammad, irfa rasak, sal tu'ta, washfa tushaffa. Ya Habibi, raise up your head, ask now, intercede now, ask whatever you want. What does he say? He says at that time, I will say to my Allah, give me permission to take my ummah out of Jahannam. Not one time, the Sifarish, we know the famous Sifarish, more than one time. More than one time, that dove, that pain, that cry in the heart. This is why our elders are saying, Aaj ummat maqsad al-nubuwwat se khali. Today the ummah has lost the objective of the nubuwwat of Rasulullah. Don't be deceived by this gathering in front of us. Ask ourselves the question. Tomorrow the Hilal of Eid will be cited. How many safs of Fajr Salah? How many safs of Fajr Salah? How many homes of this ummah, those little babies, the ummah is waking up with shaitan urinating in their ears. How many homes of this ummah? Millions will go to the marketplace tomorrow. What will they be carrying? Having broken Allah's command, they will not in the masjid for Fajr Salah. They will be raising the flag of shaitan. They will be going to seek risk, having made war with Rasul. Where is this guy? Whose worry is this? Whose concern is this? Today we have this both ears are clogged. Money is driving to haram music. The young girls, daughters of the Sunnah, you can't make out whether they are dressed or they are naked. Such a kind of zulmat. Who's crying? Whose worry is this? We hear this the Imams repeatedly. Ya Allah protect the progeny. Ya Allah protect the progeny. Ya Allah protect the progeny. Protection! Protection! Protection is when this ummah will embrace that which Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam brought Sahaba. They are our goals. They are our stars. They are our guiding stars. This small by take our time. Walk with the path of Allah. This is not an agenda. It's not a numbers game. What is this? This is to teach us the Gulami of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Practically, like Allah Iqbal put it beautifully, He Muhammad se wafa tune to hum tere. He Muhammad se wafa tune to hum tere hai. Ye jahan cheeze kya lo kal tere hai. Come onto the true wafadari of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Allah will become yours. Allah will become yours. This world is nothing. Allah will give you the pen of taqdeer right now you won't tell. Right now you won't tell. But the condition, Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ye johar, that jewel sitting in our homes in haram, in luxury and ease is very, very difficult. That jewel has to be learned in that maidan with Sahaba. Condition is Qurbani, 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 and the season of that is Ramadan. The season of that is Ramadan. Man sama yawman fi sabilillah fi ghayri Ramadan bu'ida minna miyat aam. Sayyid al-Muzammil al-Jawad, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, a person who fasts in the path of Allah, not in Ramadan, outside Ramadan, when he's striving in the path of Allah, Allah will distance him from Jahannam. The distance a fast horse rider will ride for 100 years. Allah will distance him for fasting in the path of Allah outside Ramadan. What Allah will give you in Ramadan, what Allah will give you in Ramadan, la ya'lamu thawaba illa Allah, no one but Allah. Right now, this brother is standing up. Tashkil is about to take place, my respected brothers. Every one of us in our hearts, that desire is there, it's the truth of Iman. But what's the problem? What's the problem? This clock. What Shaitan will come and whisper? You still got time. You still got time. MashaAllah, very good work, very good call, very good talk, all that is there, but delay. You know, in Arabic they have this word sofa, not English sofa, that's sofa. Another word sofa. This is such a trap of Shaitan, this sofa. The ulama say, أَكْثَرُ أَهْلِ النَّارِ أَهْلِ التَّسْوِيرِ. Majority of the residents of Jahannam are the people who delay. Allah forbid. Clock of life is ticking. Any one of you that's going to receive some divine inspiration that the next 10, 15 years you're going to live without speaking. But if you don't have that, now is this Ramadan, now, Allah's malaika are present, they are saying Ameen. The doors of Jannah is open, Jahannam is locked, Shayateen are tied up also. Now is the time. Now is the time. Don't look left, don't look right. Put your application from the heart. Ask Allah, beg from Allah. The standing up is not a promise. There's no legal ramification. This is dua. Ya Allah, accept me. First thing from the heart, Ya Allah, accept me for 4 months. So, who's ready? Very quickly, stand up.
Come beloved youngsters, come my beloved brothers, make our hours. Come beloved brothers, hours and many millions in the world. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Chalo bhai, Sajid, take the names down. MashaAllah. I want to take the names. Otherwise it will just be inshallah. Who's there, MashaAllah? Come beloved brothers, stand up. Allah Ta'ala accept your good name. Muhammad Dawud, Allah accept. MashaAllah. Allah accept my beautiful young brothers. Come beloved brothers. Allah, you must Mubarak man. Allah, MashaAllah. Khalid, Allah Ta'ala accept, MashaAllah. Who else inshallah? Come beloved brothers. MashaAllah. Allah Ta'ala Kabul Farmali. Who else inshallah? Come my beloved brothers. A beautiful brother over there, MashaAllah. Allah accept, MashaAllah. Come beloved. Yaqibu. Stand up, this is the opportunity. Imagine Allah gave us tawfiq on this night to sit in the masjid. This is Allah's tawfiq. Allah Akbar, we'll go from here. Whose heart will change? My beloved, this chain will carry on. Who will get hidayah? One person, my beloved, is safe from the fire. Okay, come my beloved. We see the poverty, we get affected. My beloved, as people going towards Jannah, doesn't affect us, my beloved. Homes on fire, doesn't affect us. Allah Akbar, we so fortunate. Look at this beautiful masjid. So many people for salah. My beloved, how many are there that don't even know this is the month of Ramadan? My beloved, MashaAllah, Allah Ta'ala accept, MashaAllah. Keep on standing, my beloved. Make niyat from our side. Let's see, inshallah. We are responsible, Allah Ta'ala Kabul Farman. We are responsible for what is in our head. And what is in Allah's, Allah will give, my beloved. That is Allah's responsibility. Come, beloved brothers. Allah, this is such a mubarak. We find it to get accepted, my beloved. And dunya has become too sweet. We got to leave it, my beloved. Allah Ta'ala accept. Who else? Allah accept, MashaAllah. More for beautiful youngsters. Allah Akbar. Rafiq my son, Allah Ta'ala accept. Allah, your father gave everything. Allah accept your whole progeny, inshallah. Who else, inshallah, my brother? Allah Akbar. In Akhirat, Allah knows how many youngsters of Blackburn will follow Rafiq by the Jannah, inshallah. Allah Akbar. Come, my brothers. Who else, inshallah? There's another life. Allah Ta'ala accept, MashaAllah. 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 Who else? Allah accept. Allah Ta'ala accept, MashaAllah. Come, my brothers. Allah Akbar. Make your heart, Allah Ta'ala Kabul Farman. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Allah accept, inshallah. Allah Kabul Farman. Because brothers, we can only do what is in our hand. Allah will do the rest. Allah Akbar. youngsters are going for phones. Allah